Shalom to the elect of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the occupants, pushing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, waking up the hope for the elect. Shalom to the Akwa who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah, coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. This is another Saturday edification, another daily edification, another camp edification. The Lord's willing to be edifying. This is a clip from this guy Jesse Ventura, and he's going in on how these Edomites have no right to tell other countries who to trade with, okay? Or how they should trade. The Lord's willing to be edifying.
I'm Jesse Ventura. Welcome to my world. Come along for the ride. The world according to Jesse. Today, we discussed how the international community is working its way around U.S. sanctions and how the Department of Energy is rebranding fossil fuels. Sit tight. The show starts now. The world according to Jesse.
Hi, I'm Brigida Santos. For our first story today, we turn to trade. The U.S. dollar is the most popular currency for international transactions. America's allies are putting that in question as they find new ways around Washington's sanctions on Iran. France, Britain, Germany, and India have all developed ways to trade with Tehran without using American currency. China and Russia are also seeking alternatives to the U.S.-controlled bank transfer system. Both countries are working on deals to trade with and strengthen their own respective currencies. The dollar will likely remain dominant in global trade for now, but this trend indicates that America could lose its ability to control other countries through economic sanctions. Jesse, is this all just political theater?
No, Brigida, it is not political theater. Let me explain why it's not. When the United States puts sanctions on a country like they're doing to Iran and like they've done to Cuba for the last 60 years, truthfully, it's a declaration of war. It's a declaration of war without the armies being involved in the direct violence. But it's a declaration of war on the people of those countries because we have some morbid belief here, and it's been going on for literally decades, that if we put sanctions on a country and we put them through a great deal of pain and everything through the sanctions, that somehow they're going to rise up and they're going to overthrow their established government who we don't like.
Look how they burning the American flag and Israel flag, man. These other nations are pissed off with you Edomites, man. They are pissed off with you Edomites.
And they're going to install a government that we do like. Well, Cuba proves that's not true because the Cuba people have suffered through our sanctions for 60 years. They're stubborn, they're patriotic to their country, and they're not about to let us win. The same thing will hold true for Iran. They're not going to fall victim. Their people will suffer. That's what sanctions do. That's why it is war without the weapons. And why should other countries, because the United States decides to put sanctions on, that doesn't mean that all the other countries have to agree to that, does it? Unless it's a UN sanction where all the countries within the UN agree to do it and the UN puts the sanctions on. But to simply the United States put sanctions on and all other countries are supposed to cease trading with this country, I think that's ridiculous. And what it shows, it shows the threat. If they start going away from the U.S. dollar, that'll be a threat to the American empire throughout the world. So this is very serious stuff.
Yeah, and we're not only waging actual, real combat wars across the world, but now economic wars as well. Now, the biggest threat to U.S. currency dominance in trade is Europe's dollar-free plan, known as INSTEX. The Instrument in Support of Trade Exchanges is a special European-controlled legal entity that's designed specifically to bypass U.S. sanctions and facilitate trade between Iran and the EU without sending any money across borders. Now, President Trump, of course, does not accept this. He's now threatening to sanction anyone associated with Instex. But don't you think that's going to backfire too? I mean, we can't sanction the entire world, can we?
They're going to try to.
Exactly. And what gives us the right to tell all other countries to put sanctions on Iran? That's their business. You know, that's the problem today. The United States, we're still dealing with that neocon idea that Cheney and all them put together in the early 90s. Now that the United States is the sole superpower of the world, what do we have to do to maintain that power? And that seems to be our attitude, because in my opinion, we have no right to tell other countries who they can trade with and who they cannot trade with. That's their business. And that's done through proper negotiation, not through hardline arm twisting, which seems to be the United States' agenda today, is go out and twist arms. Like I said, Brigitte, sanctions are war, because the people of that country suffer dearly. It isn't the government like Cuba. You think Fidel ever missed a meal? No. The people who suffer are the regular people. They're the ones that bear the suffering, and the United States bears the consequences of that.
Now, the U.S. is emerging as the world's top oil and gas producer, and in the next 5 years, it's expected to knock Saudi Arabia out of first place as the biggest oil exporter. But the escalating trade war with China, combined with sanctions on Iran and Venezuela, put global oil markets at risk. Other supply chains also face disruption now that Trump has imposed a 5% tariff on goods imported from Mexico. He says he's going to increase the tariffs until Mexico slows the flow of undocumented migrants across the U.S. border. Now, every American auto factory depends on Mexican parts to build its cars. 1 in 29 jobs, about 5 million, also depend on trade between U.S. and Mexico. And guess who's going to suffer because of all these sanctions and tariffs, Jesse? You already covered it in other countries. Now it's happening here.
Hey, man, most of our fruit and vegetables coming from Mexico, man. Hey, these Edomites is the dumbest nation. They are the dumbest nation on the planet, man. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1, and it reads, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees." Who is the them? Edomites, man. Okay, Edomites, man. You so-called white people, you Edomites, you red Hebrew Edomites, man. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, meaning that their laws, their unrighteous, unjust laws, man. They democracy, okay. They are legislations, man. Their policies. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree. These are all unrighteous decrees, man. How you gonna tell another nation what they can and can't do? They are wicked, man. How can you tell another nation what they can and can't do? This is Habakkuk 2. Hey, man, these to go scriptures all the time for these devils, man. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Some of the Edomites, they are the wicked. Okay, we know this, man. Their soul is not right, man. The Lord made them to be the wicked. Okay, they are the vessels of wrath that was fitted for destruction, man. That's their whole duty, to destroy. That's why the Lord said in Revelation 11:18, he will destroy them who's destroying the earth. But the just shall live by faith, which is the elect. Verse 5 say, it reads, yea also, because he transgresseth by wine, meaning his democracy, meaning his philosophies, his legislations, his policies. Yea also, because he transgresseth by wine. That's what they do, man. On every level, man. Okay, from trade wars to their religion, man. They transgress by wine, man. Okay, through their penal codes, all the different laws that they have, man. He is a proud man. That's why I said in Obadiah 1 and 3, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Okay, they're in over 79 countries right now, man, trying to take over. Because they're supposed to be the superpower of the world. Same way like Rome was, man. Going in every other country trying to take over. And that's why Rome fell, man, along with their monetary system. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hail. Let you know that the Edomites, all they do is bring hail, and is as death and cannot be satisfied. And they can't, man. They cannot be satisfied, man. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's what they do, man. They the devil, man. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 2. And they covet fields. Who is it they? Edomites, so-called white people. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and they take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And that's what they're doing with these tariffs, okay? With these tariffs, man. They oppressing a man and his heritage. Even a man in his house, man. Okay, the elites of these different countries, they living good. Whoever they put tariffs on, they putting tariffs on China. Hey, they putting tariffs on all these other countries. That's hurting the regular people that's trying to live, man. Barely making it. People's already shooting bad, not starving around the world. Trump putting tariffs on everybody because why? They are proud, man. And they don't care.
Well, I'll tell you something, Brigida. What they ought to do, and I heard it the other day, they should call these tariffs the Trump tax, because that's what it is. It's a tax. For all you people out there that think Donald Trump gave you a tax cut, no, he didn't, because you're paying it back now. See, Republicans love to do that. Republicans love to say we're against taxes, we're for cutting taxes. But if you look closely at them, and I learned this as governor, what they do is they simply change the name. Instead of a tax, they might call it a fee, so it doesn't fall technically under taxing. They love to spend money the same as everybody else does. Trump loves to spend it too. The problem is, what do Republicans do? They put it on the charge card. In other words, they put it on the debt. They don't pay for it now. They want it paid for later by your children and your grandchildren. That's the Republican philosophy. Why pay now when you can pay later?
In the wake of the ongoing trade drama, the U.S. Energy Department has rebranded carbon dioxide. It's now referring to the greenhouse gas as molecules of freedom and calling natural gas freedom gas. Energy officials say spreading freedom gas throughout the world gives allies a diverse and affordable source of clean energy. While global warming emissions from natural gas combustion are lower than those from coal or oil, natural gas drilling, extraction, and storage can result in methane leaks. In 2015, an aging LA-based storage facility spewed nearly 100,000 metric tons of the greenhouse gas into the atmosphere. And methane is 84 times more potent than carbon dioxide over a 20-year period, and it's 25% more efficient at trapping heat against the Earth's surface than
The
carbon
wickedness of
dioxide.
Esau.
So, Jesse, wouldn't shifting to an even cleaner, safer energy source be better, considering the growing threats associated with climate change?
Absolutely, it should be. And this changing the name, Brigitte, is interesting because this ties in too to what's been done before. Right after World War II, when the Cold War started with the then Soviet Union, of course, they were very atheist over there. That's when we started putting "In God We Trust" on our money. People need to understand that was never on money until after World War II and the Cold War started. In God we trust, like we're the country that's blessed by God, not these Soviet heathens over here. And so now you've got them using the same type of thing, change the name of fossil fuel and rebrand it and make people think freedom gas and freedom this. They're making fossil fuel now patriotic to stay in the old world, even natural gas. The new world, man needs to look beyond fossil fuel. Fossil fuel will ultimately destroy us if we don't get off it and get off it soon.
It's June, which means many Americans have filed their 2018 taxes already. So how did the GOP's 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act pan out for the country? Well, the Nonpartisan Congressional Research Service concludes that the cuts had virtually no effect on wages, did not lead to a surge in investment, or come close to paying for themselves, as the Trump administration claimed. Instead, the tax cuts contributed to a record-breaking surge in corporate stock buybacks, $1 trillion worth in 2018, to benefit corporate shareholders. An LA Times analysis of the report states that the tax cuts did almost nothing for ordinary Americans, and it may have even cost them money. Wealthy Americans, on the other hand, reaped the benefits of lower taxes and higher dividends. The cuts also had a negligible effect on the U.S. economic growth while depriving the government of revenue. Last month, the U.S. hit a record $234 billion budget deficit because of the government's loss in revenue. So far in 2019, the deficit is up 40% in comparison to the same time frame in 2018. Jesse, on this show, you and I correctly predicted the outcome of these tax cuts before they went into effect. Why do so many people uncritically believe everything that our leaders claim when it's pretty easy to independently analyze these policies?
Well, people believe it, Brigitte, because they live in their little tiny world. And they don't like to be made uncomfortable. They don't like, as long as nothing affects them directly, or they think that anything affects them in their daily life, they don't want to look at anything else out there. It's a shame. People are not being vigilant. People are not paying attention, and people must understand something about our current president. Our current president wouldn't know the truth if it came up and bit him on the ass. This guy lies up and down. It doesn't matter, Donald Trump, whether things are this way or that way. He's going to put his spin on it, and they repeat it over and over and over again. Well, with the public that doesn't pay attention much anyway, all they need to do is repeat it to them 3 or 4 times. It gets lodged in their brains, and they won't bother to find out the truth, yet they'll go to the depths believing they're correct, simply because somebody in a powerful government position happened to tell them so. People better realize something. Government people are only people. They lie and they cheat, the same as any other person might lie and cheat. They do good things the same as other people might do good things, but they are only human. They put their pants on one leg at a time, and when they bleed, their blood is red.
Hey, just like Ventura Face, man. Hey, they eating my red, man. Okay, that's up to my crayon box red, man. Hey, the Lord gave you specifics on how these Edomites gonna look, man. Straight red. Hey, this is 1 Peter 5:8. And the Lord was speaking to you, Achium, man, on this verse right here. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, which is you Edomites, you deceivers, you accusers, you slanderers, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, the Lord say your adversary, okay, our enemy, your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour. And that's what the Edomites do, man. All they do is take, and take, man. How? With what? With the sword, man. Okay, that's their blessing. The take, man. This is what these devils do, man. But the Lord said, what? They shall vomit it all up again, man. And how do they take? With what? The sword. Okay, that's their blessing, to live by the sword, man. These Edomites, that's why we understand these scriptures, man. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay? And what they do, they set up their devices, man, to take, man, to destroy. Okay? Because what it say, they cannot be satisfied, man. They cannot be satisfied with nothing, man. These devils have all the money, trillions and trillions, not even if zillions of dollars, and they is not satisfied. They want everybody choked, man. Because the scriptures say they cannot be satisfied, man. Now, you got this Edomite, Jesse Ventura. Hey, he telling you straight up, man. Hey, man, Esau, you Edomites, you hate each other, man. That's why you bringing the information out. Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So they making their own tongue to fall upon themselves. It said all that see them shall flee away. So you got other people looking like, damn, these Edomites telling on these Edomites. What type of mess is that? Hey, something ain't right. Hey, it's time to separate, man. It's time to part ways, because these devils is bringing the information out on themselves, man. You know the Lord got a heavy spirit on these Edomites because everybody pissed off. I'm talking about Peter Schiff, this guy Tom Hartman I be watching, Jesse Ventura. Man, there's so many guys. All these Edomites, man, they bring the truth out because they pissed off at how they ain't getting that piece of the pie no more, man. Okay, these Edomites, these elite Edomites is cutting them out from getting a piece of the pie, man. So the next best thing to do is what? Bring out the information, man. Become what? A snitch, man. And let it all fly. Okay? All these guys, all these Edomites is bringing out these different things on the elites. They snitching, man. Okay? I'm talking about this ain't dry snitching either. This wet snitching, man. They don't care. They letting it go because they are not getting a piece of the pie, man. Okay? And now these regular common Edomites are starting to suffer. Okay? These mediocre Edomites are starting to suffer, man. Because the elites don't care, man. They do not care about you regular Edomites, man. They don't care. Okay? Hey, it's survival of the fittest, man. That's what this is about, man. The 1%ers. So, hey, you either gonna find a way to get rich or you gonna stay on the bottom, man. Okay? You gonna stay on the bottom with the worms and the maggots, man. So, hey, Lord witness edifying. I gotta give our praise to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rekah Korash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the ark and pushing this truth through the four ends of the earth, waking up the hope for the elect. And shalom to the Akwa for our listening and learning. Hey, yeah, man. So we see these things happening, man. We are close to the end, man. And North America is crumbling, man. Okay? Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Oh, matter of fact, I got one more precept to close with. This is Jeremiah chapter 51. I must be allowed to read this. This is Jeremiah 51 and 7. It reads, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, meaning her philosophies, her legislations, her policies, her democracies. Therefore, the nations are mad. Okay? These nations is pissed off, man. They tired of you Edomites, man. They sick of you Edomites, man. Okay? Let me see if I can click back right here. Matter of fact, let me go back a little bit more. Hey, man. They burning these flags, man. Hey, you see right there. They burning the North American flag and Israel flag, man. Okay? These two parties right here, North America and Israel, is destroying everything, man. Okay? Thus saith the scriptures. So these nations is pissed off, man. So prepare for things to get worse, man. Okay? Oh, Revelation 12:12. Okay? That's playing out heavy too, man. Because now they done passed a law that you can't even speak about the Jews, man. Okay? They done passed a law that you can't speak about the Jews now. So these Edomites, man, they pissed off because hey, that Hebrew 4:12, man. The words of the Lord cut like a two-edged sword. Hey, these prophecies are playing out heavy, man. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore, rejoice. The Lord said, when you see these things happening, rejoice, man. Be glad because we almost up out of here, man. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, okay, you deceivers, diablos, you slanderers, you accusers, you Edomites, you so-called white people. For the devil is come down upon you, unto you, having great wrath, because he know that he have but a short time. So y'all time running out, and you know this, okay? So you trying to push every wickedness, unrighteous decree that you can, man. You're pushing every wicked decree that you can push. And I'm going to close on this. Job, to back up Revelation 12:12. This is Job 14 and verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, The number of his months are with thee, that has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. The Lord got your days numbered, man. Okay? The Lord got a brick wall in front of you on both sides and behind you, man. Okay, you are boxed in the corner. You've been that way. Okay, your pride just had you not seeing it, man, because y'all have created a fantasy world. For you Edomites, and 2/3 of our people, man. Okay, and you have did that for the nation. That's why I said the nations are angry, because they drunk of your wine, man. Hey, America will never be great again, man. Okay, America is finna be destroyed again, just like ancient Babylon was. Hey, so Lord willing to edifying, Shalom.